Good design to me is designing a space to its highest level while still functioning at its highest capacity. The house needs to work for whoever's living there. We do have 2 dogs, so I need to not be too precious about anything in here. But design matters so much. It makes a space feel pulled together. It makes it inviting. The color palette does so much to your emotions. What does it feel like in the morning when you wake up, and what does it feel like at night? So all of these things come into play, and for me, a well-designed space is the most harmonious version of that. My name is Mandy Cheng, and this is my house that my husband and I renovated together. So we were originally looking for a house that had a slightly larger yard space. We put in offers on like 30 places, and this home was essentially in a state of disrepair, so nobody wanted it, so it was perfect. We want to do the most responsible, environmentally conscious thing, which is to recycle and reuse. It's also the most budget-friendly option. You know, we had a huge project on our hands. This house was a beast. We didn't have the budget to just have teams come in and pull everything out. We had to do a lot of this ourselves. To finally be able to just sit in the space and not stare at all the to-dos is kind of wild. The most important thing for us for this space was for it to feel really welcoming the second you walked in. We don't have a proper foyer. You're just kind of walking straight into our dining room and our living room. So we really wanted it to feel immediately cozy, enveloping, bright, relaxing. I don't want anything to feel too stuffy. So we chose to open up this wall with the bifolding door because Rory had these really grand ideas of what our front patio should look like. This home was sort of a Craftsman style house to begin with, and we really wanted to honor that when we were renovating the house. The house came with a fireplace that I wanted to preserve. That really limited the footprint of our living room and of our kitchen. Because if you go into a traditional Craftsman style home, the rooms are a little bit more separated typically, so I'm happy that we kept with that original layout for the most part. Obviously closing off this doorway that used to lead into the kitchen and making this a proper built-in so that this room feels like its own room. When we started this house, Rory and I wanted there to be a theme, and we decided on New Orleans. It's not supposed to be like a direct translation, but the color palette, the way that New Orleans makes you feel, it's where Rory's family's from, so we go there a lot, we love it there. This feels very much like our experiences in New Orleans, where we go into these different bars and jazz clubs, to our family's homes. This is really supposed to be an entertaining space. I don't want anybody to worry about spilling wine. No, I want them to be a little bit worried about spilling wine, but I don't want them to not drink wine on the sofa. I know that it's like a whole thing to have a TV over a fireplace. I really don't care. If I don't have a TV over the fireplace, maybe people don't want to hang out here. I mean, we're in LA. I'm not lighting that fireplace all the time, but we are watching TV all the time, so I think it's great. I think if there's one thing to really focus on when you're renovating your house, it would be to incorporate built-ins. To have something that looks like a piece of furniture designed and fitted exactly to fit within an opening is everything. It makes all the difference. So we made it a little dining nook. My husband built this bench, but there's a lot of dining and drinking that happens here. We have dinner parties here pretty often. My parents, growing up, we owned a restaurant, and I think because of that, having people gather around the table has always been the norm for us. We're definitely very proud to have a place that people want to come and hang out. The biggest thing we did in here was add this hallway right here, which gives you a straight shot down for guests to use when we're up on this first floor. Once we drew this, we realized like, oh, if we just straighten out the wall, move everything in 3 feet, this becomes a very typical single-family residence layout where, you know, the main space is on one side and then the living quarters are on the other side. This 3-foot hallway essentially gave us a guest bedroom, a guest bathroom, our gym. So, you know, if people come and stay, it kind of feels like they have their own private space. In New Orleans, I feel like A lot of the spaces are tight, they're older, they feel a little bit cozier than what you would normally be accustomed to. So I really leaned into that with the guest bedroom. Rather than filling it with bright colors, it lends to the overall color palette of the whole house, but also has its own little like cozy, unique feel. So I have a lot of friends that are artists and they've created a lot of these pieces. I think galleries should be more popular than they are. I know it was trending for a while and then it fell out of trend. I don't really care and I think it's great. So we're gonna keep building on this. It's gonna be completely filled with stuff. I think Rory and I jointly designed this piece, had our stained glass guy make it, and I love the way that the light comes through. It's so pretty. The kitchen has changed significantly. This beam right here is where the dividing wall was. So the kitchen used to be significantly smaller. Since the fireplace was there, I didn't want to get rid of it. And it created this like funny little nook. So that's why these little drawers are off center. And I think it's great to kind of embrace the original architecture of the house, to not feel like I have to always change everything and make everything perfect and new and symmetrical and, you know, all the things that maybe by default you would do. I love that we did mixed colors in here. I have a lot of clients that ask, is it weird to have two different colors in the kitchen? Is it weird to not have your kitchen cabinets match your floors? So this is kind of a great case study for my clients to see like, hey, no, it's not weird. Or if you do think it's weird, maybe just don't hire me. But if you don't think it's weird, it's great. I feel a little more connected to people that are hanging out in the kitchen by having the sink here as opposed to over here. Because we have this little area here, it does become a hangout spot, especially when Rory and I are cooking or friends are making drinks, we can all kind of gather. Some of my favorite things in the house, I think the lighting is one. A lot of my own lights are in the house, which is awesome. I partnered with Mitzi and created a lighting line. And then also all of these other lights, like they're from so many vendors that I love and I really admire. It's just this like pop of jewelry. I use them to dress up or dress down a space, depending on what I need it to accomplish. They all kind of play a role in either classing up or classing down the space in a very specific way. The bedroom is really the same size as how it was when we purchased the home. Added this little clerestory window over our bed. We added a balcony upstairs, downstairs. These French doors lead out to an awesome view of downtown. I love the colors in this room. Again, going with the New Orleans theme, but it's just this like soft, buttery, golden color that's very, very relaxing. By reconfiguring everything, it made the room feel so much larger. I love that we have two different vintage desks as our nightstands, and just being able to go outside in the morning, have coffee on the sofa, you know, enjoy the view, watch the planes. It's great. So this is our downstairs den, and it actually doubles as a guest suite if we need it to. A vendor that I work with a lot, it's a store called Clad Home. They're local to LA. We designed this sofa and I really pushed them to make it a king sleeper sofa, which you don't normally find. I knew that I wanted it to be a little funkier and more colorful than the upstairs, where it could kind of feel like a boutique hotel. So the property slopes down. That's why the ceilings are so low. So we just have kind of embraced it. I think you have to be 5'11" to take a shower. I chose to tile the ceilings because I've always wanted to do it in a project, and I didn't want a client's house to be my test case. So I did it here and I love it. It actually feels kind of like Japanese bathhousey. Everything is supposed to feel elevated, but also kind of whimsical and fun. And that's kind of my way of achieving, you know, a nice space that still feels approachable. Rory's an architect and he essentially designed the house.
Where we're sitting right now, this was designed to be an extension of the living room. The bifold doors fully open. I mean, you have the ability to float to the front patio here. This plant through here is an idea that we took from a place that we visited years ago in Palm Springs. It was the Lautner compound. You know, I want people to walk in, see the front door, know that they have a destination, but not really be aware of the front patio. And as you move in towards the front door, it's this big, beautiful, expansive space.
I think the tile guys probably wanted to quit. I really wanted to incorporate a lot of color in here. Normally you pick a tile and that's the floor tile, then you pick another tile and that's the wall tile. I wanted to change that up. They were really, really proud of the way that it all turned out. We come out here and hang out pretty much every night. After work, it's just such a cool place to chill, have a glass of wine. We have the fire on, such a nice little cozy space.
We were inspired by some places that we've stayed over the years. Being outdoors is such an incredible experience anywhere in California. We wanted all of our outdoors to feel as though they were as refined as the interiors. And so another thing that was very memorable at resorts that we went to is just having lighting integrated everywhere, to the extent of hanging pendant lights from the trees.
He's being modest, by the way. I think he's planted over 1,000 plants on this property. Rory ran all of the irrigation, he ran all of the exterior lighting, and then planted all of the plants you see. Like, I can't tell you how many truck beds full of plants he's brought home since we bought this house. So the last holiday, my family was coming to town and we were really worried about my family getting bored. We installed a bunch of games, but yeah, we needed to entertain family.
Like I said, practice makes
Stop
perfect.
it. That's so annoying. I don't think I've ever gotten that. This is the remnants of the original house, but I kind of love it because it's, you know, it reminds us of what the house used to be, on theme with New Orleans, where you just kind of find these new structures mixed with old things. It feels on point.
To be true to the Craftsman, we installed a board and batten siding, I think in a more contemporary fashion.
And I had these made with the little fleur-de-lis so that it feels very New Orleans. It's like the one thing that is very on the nose. This is a really interesting space because this used to be the door that led to the downstairs studio space. The rest of this was essentially like outdoor storage. It's such a fun little surprise when you're coming down the driveway and turn the corner. As far as the pink quartzite goes, this is also from Walker Zanger. Had this table fabricated. It's great for entertaining. We're in LA. We all want to hang out outside, and now you can eat and drink here too. My countertop fabricator loves to create cutting boards every time he does the countertop. And rather than a cutting board, I asked for a Lazy Susan. If you've ever been to dim sum, they always have Lazy Susans at the tables. I grew up going to dim sum restaurants and I like that aspect. So this is a very miniature version of that.
The base along here, we planted a creeping thyme, which is edible.
You shouldn't eat this. Our dogs pee in here. But in theory, it's great.
Actually, one of the reasons we moved into this area was for a park nearby where I play basketball during the week. This is just another opportunity to play basketball.
I'm really bad at basketball. Rory plays with our dog more than I.
The only sport we really play together is, or have played together, is tennis. She's a really good tennis player.
I'm not. I'm terrible at tennis. I'm just better than he is. I mean, a lot of it was just blood, sweat, and tears. Mostly Rory's blood, sweat, and tears. If we're really being honest, he worked his butt off for this house. This house was built on favors, truly. Like, I am so grateful to LA Design Build. They did this whole renovation. They were so kind. Armin did an amazing job. Our landscaper, you know, just so many people that I have worked with and partnered with on past projects. They all kind of came in to help us build our dream house, and I'm so grateful for that. This used to be a storage space. We turned it into my office. I painted it pink for the same reason that I chose pink countertops. Why not? It used to be really scary in here. There was this really scary rocking horse hanging from the ceiling. It had like this creepy smile, and now it's my office. This table came from my previous office space. It fits my whole team. It's nice that people can kind of enjoy the property. So we work here and people can go into the main house to use the kitchen. So it turned out really, really nice. There's like a very, very short journey where I leave the office and walk up the steps and around the kitchen into the house. It's like the end of the day. So now we can come inside, we'll sit in the front patio or hang out, have dinner. It feels very relaxing and soothing and an escape.